Hi there, I'm Matthew Lester from the Rhodes Business School. For my sins, I'm also a member of the Davis Tax Committee, which was established in 2013 to review South Africa's tax system. The National Development Plan makes a lot of emphasis on the role that SMEs are going to have in the creation of a better South Africa for all. Here are some extracts from the reports. And one looks at all of this and immediately comes to mind is, well, what are we going to do about it? The Davis Tax Committee has presented a report on what the taxation consequences are for SMEs in this whole process. But that's not the be-all and end-all of the matter. I've been working on that, and what I'm wanting to do now is make this work more readily accessible to SMEs. That's only one part of the problem. Really what we are looking at is to say who is going to help the SMEs make a contribution, and we say, right, well, there's government, and then of course there's the private sector. Government has the Department of Trade and Industry, which has basically pushed this problem over now to the new Department of Small Business Development. And then, of course, everybody expects that National Treasury and SARS, given their great track record, are also going to come up with some silver bullet to help the whole thing along. In the private sector, we have the NGO propellers, and we have the corporates of South Africa who would also like to contribute in terms of their social development initiatives. Right, when we take that, we say, well, when we look at SMEs, everybody's expecting a whole lot. But where do they stand in the general picture? This was a problem that we had in the Davis Committee, where we identified that there is a massive informal sector, and the research is showing that the informal sector are doing a great job in looking after themselves and keeping themselves fed, etc., but there's not enormous growth potential there. And we distinguished that from what Michael Spicer calls the missing middle, which are the entrepreneurs of South Africa with growth potential. And then up the top, we have the formal sector. Now, part of the problems that we are having with SMEs is that they don't know where they fit within that pyramid, and therefore don't know where to start looking for help. But who's going to help small business? National Treasury and SARS have updated and beefed up their whole facilities for assisting SMEs, but really their job is to collect taxes and look at the regulatory side of it. SARS, in terms of its charter, is not specifically authorized to help people run their businesses, quite the contrary. In spite of all of this, people are making a complete meal of their tax affairs, and they are making it more complex than it needs to be. From the National Treasury and SARS side, I would suggest that we create a set of videos. I'm not going to read them all to you, but there are some of the titles that we want to create, and simply put them out there in a very user-friendly format, similar to what we're doing at the moment, which concisely explains to the SME what they need to do. This would make, I believe, an incredible assistance where people just want the basic framework where they are starting off. So I'm in a position to help with that one. We also have the facility of the Rhodes Business School website, criticalthought.co.za, where there's a nice space there where we could create a SME website which would contain all of this material. Phase 2 of the project is to get additional contribution from the various other providers as to how we can assist SME. So the SARS and National Treasury component is the one that is already catered for. I can deal with all of that. There's no problem with that. Phase 2 of the project would be to extend it to other government arms, NGOs and corporates to say, hey, if you've got a contribution to make to the SME sector, why don't you start putting up some material on this website as well, so that we can provide other forms of expertise as well. The ultimate objective would be to create an app which can be played on any tablet or mobile device, so that this is readily acceptable in a form that is attractive to young people, free of charge, and they can get some basic assistance. What would the phase 1 requirements be? Well, again, the basic fundamentals are there. We have the expertise to produce the videos, we have the website, etc. That's not going to be too expensive. What we really need is to get this whole intervention publicized. That's integral to the success. We can't simply put it up on a website and hope that everybody is going to rush off to see it. So we're going to need various partners to publicize that this is a new initiative and that it has an independent view from an approved business school showing people what they should be doing with their SMEs and assisting them along the way. Thereafter, we believe that the sponsors will follow to build this website bigger, take it to the form of apps, and really make a meaningful intervention. So there's my basic idea. If anybody would like to make a contribution, that would be more than welcome. Thank you very much.